Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are super excited today. We have David Ariano, who is the owner of Ravinia Plumbing, Heating, and Electric, which has been in business for over 90 years. You heard it right, over 90 years. They've won the prestigious President's Award from Carrier for many, many years. Angie's List Super Service Award for many years. They're part of the prestigious Best Picks, and they've been A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau for over 18 years. And I know David is personally, having over 24 years of experience, is an expert in commercial and residential plumbing, HVAC, and electric, serving the Chicagoland's North Shore and surrounding areas, really creating a seamless experience for their customers. David, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Great. Well, I appreciate you spending time with our audience today. So let's just jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your business and the types of customers you're helping.
Sure. Well, as you said, we specialize in residential and light commercial service and repair for plumbing, underground sewer and water, heating and cooling, and electrical services. We service pretty much, the greater North Shore area. We specialize in older homes, and we frequently take care of a lot of problems that other people have tried to solve and couldn't, or maybe a problem that's been nagging away at a customer for a while, and we're able to go in and find the root cause of the problem and fix it.
That sounds good, and it sounds you really have a comprehensive program because you do cover so many aspects of issues that customers in the Chicagoland area run into, whether it's plumbing, electric, HVAC, heating, cooling, that sort of thing.
And it makes it easier for us to provide a comprehensive solution because sometimes when a customer calls up and they don't have heat, usually it's your furnace or boiler, but sometimes there's an electrical issue that's, the electrical supply that's controlling the system might be an issue, or sometimes it's a gas supply problem, which is really more of a plumbing issue. So if one of our trades comes out to the customer's home and finds out that really it's best served by a different trade, which is also in-house, then we can take care of it right then and there.
That's a big advantage for customers because they don't have to jump from company to company. You can actually take care of the problem in one fell swoop, so to speak. That's excellent. So I know it's been a family business, 3 generations, but what led you into the field? Was it just being a part of the family business, or were there other aspects of it that really got you started?
Well, truth be told, I didn't want to go into the family business originally. I have a couple of degrees in mechanical engineering, and I enjoyed doing that work quite a bit. But after having been a working engineer for several years, my dad came to visit me and gave me the sales pitch as to why I should join the family business. And I had worked, at the family business for several years prior to that, nights and weekends and summers and growing up and whatnot. So I figured, sure, I'll give it a shot. And it's a huge challenge. So, as any small business owner knows, you really have to wear a lot of different hats and become an expert in a lot of different areas to be able to run a successful business.
Absolutely. But you've surrounded yourself with a pretty strong team that helps make it as seamless as possible, correct?
Absolutely. The company is only as good as its employees, and we spend a lot of time trying to find the right people and get them all the necessary training they need so that they can be experts in their own disciplines. Just makes everything run a lot smoother when you have a company of professionals.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So along the way, has there been, I talked to a lot of business owners, and there's always been like somebody that was like an inspiration to them, or maybe it was a mentor, or maybe it was a book they read, or an author, or something of that nature. Do you have a mentor or someone that's inspired you along the way that's really helped you to become the best leader of your company that you are?
I've learned from so many different people over the years. When I first joined the business, while I had a strong technical background, I learned a lot of the ins and outs from our long-time field employees, our plumbers and HVAC technicians that I was working with when I was younger. So I learned a lot of the trade from those guys. Starting off in business, I became very active in our trade associations at the local, state, and national levels. There's peer groups in all of those organizations. I learned a lot from contractors just like us who had been in business longer than I have, or maybe they're a little older or more seasoned, and I've been able to pick up a lot of information along the way, and now it's kind of going the other way. I still belong to these trade associations, and as newer, younger contractors come in, now I'm able to share my knowledge with them.
Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, you are also leadership role, being president of the Plumbing Council. Is that correct?
Right. I'm a 3-time past president of our Contractors Association for the Greater Chicagoland area, as well as our current president of our Plumbing Council, which is kind of the portion of our association that funds all of our operations. That's
great. It's always nice to find business leaders that not just talk the talk, but they walk the talk, and you're definitely doing that, which is fantastic. So right now, I mean, especially in the Chicagoland area, we're in the middle of winter. I think it was like -4, -7 last night. What is one of the biggest obstacles that your clients face this time of the year? What are some of the biggest pitfalls that they may not be aware of?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of things. Obviously, the colder it gets outside, the longer and more frequently your heating systems have to run. And the longer and harder they have to run, the more likely they are to fail. So a couple of simple things you can do as a homeowner to make sure your system is going to run at peak performance. Make sure the filters are clean. If your thermostat takes batteries, make sure you have an extra set of batteries around so you don't have to drive out to a convenience store in the middle of the night to get batteries. On a more proactive basis, certainly, you really need to perform annual preventative maintenance on your heating and cooling systems, because your heating and cooling professional can find small problems before they become big emergencies. You don't want to have to call somebody out in the middle of the night, because it's a lot more expensive to take care of an emergency when it could have been handled pre-season.
Right. The whole adage, ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure, definitely is very true in this situation.
Absolutely.
Do you find that having some kind of a maintenance agreement, it works well, or do you find that having customers just put it on their calendar to call and have someone come out and take a look at what's probably the best way or the most seamless, painless way for customers to make sure this preventative maintenance is being done?
There's a number of different avenues that customers can take. If customers want us to remind them semi-annually, once in the spring for their air conditioning and once in the late fall for their heating system, we can do that. We'll send a postcard reminder or an email reminder. Otherwise, we do mail out to all of our customers a couple times a year as a reminder to have the preventative maintenance performed on their systems. And again, call early. Once our postcards hit, our schedule fills up a month or two in advance. And even if you're already partway into the season, it's never too late to have maintenance performed.
Gotcha. Now, do you have any kind of programs that customers can join to handle some of the maintenance or a
Sure.
maintenance agreement?
Yeah, we do. We have a program. It's called our Home Care Club. For a nominal monthly fee, it gives the customers priority service, discounted rates on all of any necessary repairs, greatly reduced after-hours charges. And again, we provide earlier maintenance reminders to our Home Care Club customers so they can have the opportunity to get into our schedule first.
Gotcha. And does being part of that membership cover cleaning or maintenance or, just checkup kind of things?
We don't have our customers prepay for maintenance. It's just easier. We provide them all the reminders. We give them a substantial discount on the maintenance. It's cleaner and easier from an accounting standpoint to pay as you go. We come out today, we do the maintenance today, you pay us today, and then you don't have to worry about, did I already pay them or do I still have one coming or not? So it just makes it easier for the customer.
Makes sense. Absolutely. For sure. So what would you say is the best piece of advice you can give to our listeners today? Maybe they've had an issue where, in the middle of winter and they could come home and it's freezing in their house and they don't know what to do kind of thing. What would be the best advice you can give them?
Well, certainly, obviously in this kind of weather, when it's as cold as it is, the heating system goes down, you have to get somebody out to do something about it, because you don't want the house to freeze up. You start freezing up the plumbing piping in your system and you're going to have bigger problems. So that's number one. Number two, when it gets really cold like this, don't set your thermostats back to a lower temperature during the day when you're not at home. Leave the system maintaining, a nice warm temperature inside the house. If you have any plumbing that's in cabinetry up against exterior walls, such as piping that's under your kitchen sink, that's almost always on an exterior wall, maybe a laundry tub, keep those cabinet doors open so the warm air inside the house can circulate inside the cabinetry. It'll help to prevent pipe freezing and bursting.
That's great advice. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that with us. So what drives David Ariano? What gives you your passion to get out of bed in the morning and help the customers that you're helping?
Well, I try to do my best to provide our employees with all the support that they need so that they have all the tools and knowledge to properly help our customers. So my focus is on supporting our staff, putting systems into place to make it easy to operate, easy for customers to do business with us. We're not perfect. We're always learning of new things we could do or new systems we can implement, or getting feedback from customers. Maybe if we're like everybody else, we make mistakes, but if someone takes the time to point a mistake out to us, we do whatever we can to fix it and make it right.
That's excellent. I appreciate that, sharing that passion with us. So if someone wants to find out more information about Ravinia Plumbing, Heating, and Electric, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, certainly there's a wealth of information on our website, www.raviniaplumbing.com. We have a blog that is updated several times a month. There's always new articles going online, which are packed full of information that customers can use to help them. Sometimes a lot of customers they're handy, or they just need a source of some information to help them with their problem, and if they can take care of it, great. And if they can't and they need an expert, then they know where to call. But certainly there's a lot of information on our website.
Excellent. If they just want to pick up the phone and call, what's the best number for them to reach you at?
They can reach us 24 hours a day at 847-432-5561, and our phones are always answered by a live person.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, David. You definitely shared a plethora of information, a lot of golden nuggets that our listeners will definitely appreciate, and I appreciate you taking the time with us today.
Well, thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks, for this edition of the show. We'll see you next time on the Inside Track.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.